Have you ever found yourself wondering, about the unseen impacts of your most private habits, especially as you get older? What if something many men do in solitude actually holds surprising keys to their health? But also, and this is important, hidden risks too.
It's definitely a topic that's often shrouded in silence, isn't it? There's just so much confusion kicking around and, well, a real lack of clear, reliable information, especially, I think, for men navigating their mature years.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. Our mission is really to cut through all those myths. We want to offer an honest, science-based conversation, sort of peeling back the layers to show the real effects of self-pleasure, on hormones, prostate health, overall well-being.
Yeah, clarity is what we're aiming for. It's such a common concern, truly, and just understanding the science behind it all can be incredibly empowering.
We want to give you the most, complete picture possible. And hey, if you find this kind of in-depth myth-busting exploration helpful, the kind that really helps you get informed on complex stuff, then please make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell too. We're always here unpacking fascinating topics, bringing surprising facts to light.
Okay, ready to jump in?
Let's do it. All right, let's start with the good news first. We've actually got 10 surprising benefits to explore, and the first one, it's all about maintaining penile health, which might sound a bit odd, but...
Well, think about it. The very act of achieving an erection, it increases blood flow, right? Into those spongy tissues in the penis, the corpora cavernosa.
Okay.
And what's really fascinating here is that this consistent exercise, you could call it acts like physical therapy. It helps maintain the tissue's elasticity.
Elasticity. Okay, why is that so crucial?
Because that elasticity is absolutely vital for achieving and, importantly, sustaining firm erections as you age. They're kind of like the hydraulic cylinders, Regular use keeps them pliable, responsive.
Right, keeping the engine well oiled, pretty much. Okay, that makes sense. But what about something maybe less obvious, something men worry about more, like prostate health?
Ah, yes. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. There are multiple large-scale studies.
Yeah.
One landmark, one from Harvard University, actually. They've linked higher ejaculation frequency with a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer.
Lower risk. Wow. How does that work?
Well, the prevailing theory is that regular ejaculation helps to flush out potentially harmful substances, old secretions from the prostate ducts.
So it's like cleaning things out regularly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really raises an important question, doesn't it? Could a natural bodily function be such a powerful protective factor?
That's truly compelling. It seems almost counterintuitive to some people, maybe. And it's not just the prostate, right? You mentioned the pelvic floor, too.
Yes. The rhythmic contractions that happen during orgasm, they engage key pelvic floor muscles, like the pubococcygeus muscle, often called the PC muscle.
And why is strengthening that muscle important?
Oh, it's vital for much more than you might realize. That's the muscle you'd use to, say, stop the flow of urine midstream. So a strong pelvic floor is essential for, robust erectile function, for better ejaculatory control. And it can even significantly help prevent urinary incontinence, which, is a common issue that often surfaces for aging men.
So it's building that core strength, essentially, down there.
Precisely. Comprehensive core strength.
Okay, benefit number 4. In our, super high stress world, this next one sounds almost too good to be true. It reduces cortisol, the stress hormone.
It does. Research consistently shows that orgasm leads to a notable drop in cortisol levels.
Really?
Yeah, and this reduction in cortisol in turn helps regulate blood pressure, and it effectively lowers anxiety. So it becomes this natural, readily accessible tool for both cardiovascular health and mental well-being.
Yeah.
It's a pretty powerful, almost immediate stress reliever.
Wow, so a significant chemical shift happening there. And it's not just about reducing stress, is it? There are feel-good chemicals involved too.
Absolutely. Orgasm floods the brain with dopamine. That's the motivation, the pleasure molecule, and oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
The bonding hormone, right?
That's the one, often called the cuddle hormone too.
Yeah.
So this natural neurochemical cocktail, it provides a really profound mood boost. It fosters a genuine sense of well-being, even emotional connection, which is just invaluable for mental health, especially as you navigate, the complexities of life and maturity. It's like your brain's own happiness prescription almost.
That's fantastic. Okay, here's another benefit, maybe more practical, often overlooked. It helps with self-detection of physical issues.
Yes, this is really important. The simple practice of self-pleasure makes you intimately familiar with your own anatomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this regular self-examination, however informal, is actually one of the most effective ways men discover early signs of things like testicular cancer or penile fibrosis, other subtle anomalies that might otherwise go completely unnoticed. So it's like a built-in personal health check.
Exactly. An incredibly effective one.
Okay, and for anyone out there struggling with sleep, this next one sounds like a potential game changer. It improves sleep quality.
Dramatically, yes. After orgasm, you get that combination, the release of oxytocin and prolactin, plus the drop in cortisol we talked about. It creates this really powerful sedative effect. It helps the body relax deeply, making it much easier to fall into that truly restorative deep sleep.
The kind of sleep that gets harder to come by with age.
Exactly. It becomes more challenging for many. So this is like a natural sleep aid, essentially, built right in.
That's incredible. So not just calm, but actual deep sleep. Okay, moving beyond just the penis itself, you're saying it enhances overall pelvic blood circulation.
Indeed. The intriguing part here is how masturbation improves blood flow throughout the entire pelvic region. So this benefits the health of your bladder, your prostate, the surrounding musculature. It actively helps prevent issues that can come from stagnation and poor circulation over time.
Right, keeping everything flowing well down there.
Precisely.
Okay, benefit number 9. For men who might struggle with premature ejaculation, this sounds particularly useful. It can serve as a training method.
That's right. Masturbation provides a safe, completely private space to practice techniques, like the stop-start method, for example.
How does that help?
Well, it allows you to better understand your body's signals, build greater awareness and therefore greater control. And that can then directly translate to partnered sexual experiences.
So it's a controlled environment for learning.
Significant personal learning improvement, yeah.
Okay, and finally, for the good news part, it keeps sexual desire and those neural pathways active. You often hear the brain is the largest sex organ.
It really is. By regularly engaging in sexual fantasy and physical stimulation, you're keeping those neural circuits for desire and arousal actively firing. This helps maintain a healthy libido, sexual responsiveness, even if you don't currently have a regular partner. It's about maintaining cognitive and sexual vitality together.
Okay, wow. So summing up the first half, there are some pretty compelling, maybe even surprising benefits there.
Definitely quite a few positives to consider.
But, and there's always a but, isn't there? To get the full picture, we can't just focus on the positives. A healthy practice means being aware of potential downsides, too. So now let's pivot. Let's talk about the potential risks, the negative effects you need to watch out for.
That's crucial, yes. A conscious practice requires understanding the full spectrum. So first up on the risk side, social isolation.
Okay, social isolation. How does self-pleasure lead to that? Is it about doing it too often, or?
It becomes a problem when it stops being just, a healthy part of a broader sexual life, and instead becomes a substitute for real human connection. The key here really is awareness. You need to ensure this practice is complementing your life, enriching it, not leading you to withdraw from actual social interactions.
Right, so it's about balance and not letting it replace connection. Okay. Beyond the psychological, what about direct physical pitfalls? What's next?
Next, we have the risk of skin microlesions, tiny tears in the skin.
Ouch! How does that happen?
Typically, it happens with technique that's too aggressive or, and this is common, inadequate lubrication. These tiny tears, they might even be invisible, but they can cause irritation, inflammation, and potentially even become a gateway for infection. The fix is simple, though, and vital. Always be gentle, and always use a quality, water-based lubricant.
Good practical advice. Be gentle. Use lube.
Got it.
Then there's something called desensitization. What's that about?
Ah, yes. This happens if you stimulate yourself in the exact same way, same pressure, same rhythm, every single time. Your brain can actually become conditioned to only that specific touch.
And the implication is?
Well, it can make it difficult, sometimes really difficult, to achieve arousal or orgasm with a partner because, a partner naturally won't replicate that exact same stimulation perfectly.
So what's the solution?
Variety. Vary your technique, vary the rhythm, the focus. Variety truly is the spice of life here, even in self-pleasure. Keep your brain guessing a bit.
Okay, vary the routine. Makes sense. This fourth risk sounds particularly important, maybe even a bit alarming. Masking underlying causes of ED erectile dysfunction.
Yes, this is critical. If you find you can only achieve an erection during self-pleasure, but consistently struggle with a partner, it might be tempting to just dismiss it, call it performance anxiety or something.
Right, I can see how someone might do that.
But that pattern, it can actually mask serious underlying health problems. Things like heart disease, diabetes, maybe hormonal imbalances. If you notice this pattern consistently, it is absolutely essential to see a doctor. Don't ignore it. It's your body sending a clear signal.
That's a really critical point for overall health, not just sexual health.
Okay.
Moving on, nerve compression from poor posture. I guess many men might masturbate sitting down, maybe hunched over.
Exactly. And what's eye-opening here is how that poor posture, especially sitting on a hard chair or hunching, can compress the pudendal nerve. That's a major nerve in the pelvis.
And compressing that nerve leads to...
Over time, it can lead to uncomfortable genital numbness or even persistent pelvic pain. So the ideal really is always a relaxed, comfortable position, lying down perhaps with proper support. Avoid that unnecessary pressure.
Good tip. Posture matters even here. Okay, what about using it as an unhealthy emotional escape?
Yeah, this is a big one psychologically. Using self-pleasure as your only tool, your go-to strategy for coping with stress or boredom or frustration, that can create a behavioral dependency over time.
So what's the healthy approach?
It's vital to have a diverse toolkit for managing emotions, right? That includes things like exercise, mindfulness practices like meditation, and really importantly, talking with people, connecting. Self-pleasure can be one healthy coping mechanism in the mix, but it shouldn't be the sole one.
Right, don't put all your emotional eggs in one basket.
Okay.
Then there are those deep feelings, guilt and shame. This comes up a lot, doesn't it? Cultural or religious taboos.
It does. Many men were raised with powerful negative messages about self-pleasure, and those feelings can be deeply ingrained and hard to shake, causing real distress.
What can someone do if they're struggling with that?
If these feelings are persistent and genuinely causing you significant distress, talking to a professional can be incredibly helpful, specifically a sex-positive therapist or counselor. They can help you reframe this natural practice in a healthier, more integrated way that aligns with your own values and well-being.
Seeking help is key there. Okay, this next one is interesting because it seems like the flip side of an earlier benefit. Pelvic congestion. You said infrequent ejaculation was a risk, but now too frequent.
That's right, it's about balance again. Excessively frequent ejaculation, and we're talking multiple times a day, consistently over a long period, can sometimes lead to a feeling of heaviness or aching in the testicles and pelvic area. Pelvic congestion.
So the solution is?
Moderation. As with so many things in health, it really comes down to listening to your body's signals and finding a rhythm that feels comfortable and sustainable for you.
Listen to your body. Good advice. Okay, number 9, potential impact on semen quality. Is this a fertility issue?
This needs clarification. It's only really a concern for couples who are actively trying to conceive.
Ah, okay. So not long-term fertility.
No, it doesn't seem to harm long-term fertility.
Yeah.
But ejaculating daily can temporarily reduce the sperm concentration in each sample. Makes it less potent, you could say. So for optimal quality when trying to conceive, studies often suggest a brief abstinence period, maybe 2 to 5 days before intercourse, might be best.
Right, so it's about timing for a specific goal, not overall health damage.
Exactly.
And finally, number 10, disconnection from reality, particularly linked to pornography.
Yes, this can be a significant issue for some. If your self-pleasure relies heavily on pornography, especially extreme or consistently unrealistic types, over time, it can skew your expectations of sex and intimacy. It can make it genuinely difficult to connect with a real-life partner in a satisfying, intimate way.
So how do you navigate that?
The key, I think, is balance. Balance any visual aids you might use with your own imagination, and crucially, with memories of real, effective, meaningful sexual experiences. Keep it grounded in the richness of reality.
Grounded in reality. Okay, so we've covered a lot. 10 benefits, 10 potential risks. After diving deep into all of this, what's the big takeaway?
Well, as you can probably tell, self-pleasure, especially as you mature, isn't simply good or bad. It's just not that black and white.
It's more nuanced.
Much more nuanced. It's fundamentally a tool. And like any tool, how you choose to use it, the awareness, the intention you bring to it, that's what truly determines its effect on your life.
So consciousness is the key.
Precisely. Consciousness. Practiced with awareness, with deep respect for your own body, and yes, with a healthy dose of moderation.
And if approached that way,
Then it really can be a powerful, even marvelous ally for your health, your vitality, your overall well-being.
Okay. So thinking about everything we've unpacked today, here's a question for you listening. What was maybe the most surprising insight for you about this really personal topic? And what, if anything, will you consider more consciously going forward?
That's a great question for personal reflection.
Definitely something to think about. We really hope this deep dive was helpful, maybe even insightful for you. If you found value in this conversation, please do consider subscribing to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives.
We'll be back with more fascinating subjects.
Absolutely. Stay healthy, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.